Hi everybody, welcome back. Glad you could tune in again. We spend a huge amount of our time and indeed our lives speaking, and yet it's quite rare for us to give careful, considered attention to what we actually say, how much we say, whether we say too much or too little, how we speak, and so on and so forth. And just occasionally, it's probably a good idea for us to think about this in something like a more systematic and considered way. And that's what I'd like to encourage you to do. This is actually what the young people on the Bible and Theology course are going to be doing on Wednesday morning this week. We've spent one semester talking a great deal, so perhaps it's time to take stock of how we talk. And one of the things that those young people will notice when they pay attention and slow down and think about it is that they might be in the company of those who talk quite a lot, which might be good, although occasionally maybe it's not. Maybe occasionally it would be good for those who talk a fair bit to really give thought to how they could listen better. And then on the flip side, of course, there are those who think a great deal, but perhaps a little more shy, or perhaps a little bit worried that they'd get something wrong, and so they say less than perhaps they could, and that has less potential to do short-term damage, but in the long term they miss out and other people miss out on benefiting from what those shyer folks might be able to say. And so I'm going to be encouraging those young people to reflect particularly on a few of the Proverbs, to consider together, do they speak more than average or less than average, or about average, and when they speak, what sort of things prompt them to do so? Or do they ever feel that they'd like to say something but don't? Or do they ever say something and then wish afterwards that maybe they hadn't done so? I'm going to be encouraging them to take a look at some of the Proverbs in particular, as I mentioned, beginning of chapter 13, Proverbs 13, 2 and 3, Proverbs 12, 18 and 19, and bits of chapter 10, chapter 11. I encourage you to do the same. You might like just to take 10-15 minutes and just to sit and reflect on those questions and on those parts of Scripture, and to consider how you speak. It's something we spend a huge amount of our time doing, and it might be as well to take stock of whether we're doing so in absolutely the best way, or whether there are areas of that aspect of our lives where we could grow, either by speaking more or by speaking a bit less. The Lord bless you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.